just had the Blue Angels here. You guys probably had air shows off the beach here before.
Right.
Did you think that's what this was?
No, it was too big of an air. It was shocking to see. Like, my reaction was, because it was a big airplane.
You took a picture of that, and I'll have you send that to us a little bit later. But it was very obvious. This was a propeller, a double propeller.
Oh yeah, definitely at least like a passenger plane for sure.
And could you see? Supposedly it was a Horizon Airline
I
plane.
couldn't see the logo, but I mean, it resembles those types of airplanes. So.
You live here in Silicon?
Yes.
So, what was that like to know that a plane?
Crazy, scary. I mean, you're worried about where it's gonna crash, where it crashed. You know, we got in the car, we were like, I hope it crashed in the water. You know, but not in town, not in someone.
Did you see jets following it?
Yes.
I mean, right on top of them, right behind them?
Right behind, I mean, chasing circles around them for a couple minutes, 10 minutes or so.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Chris, I'll ask you the same thing. You were out here with your daughter. What was that like to see?
Well, I mean, like she said at first, you know, we thought maybe it was something from the fort or maybe they were doing a drill, but when we saw it do that dive and then come back up and she started reading Twitter and we realized, oh my God, it's like a situation. And it was frightening. I mean, just...
Any doubt that it didn't crash? I mean, that's what we've heard.
No.
Did you hear a crash?
Yeah, we came outside the last time it passed over, and we were all outside standing there, you know, going, you know, what's happening, and then we heard this just thud, mechanical crash.
Mm-hmm.
Not an explosion, just a very loud crash.
It got quiet at that point.
Yeah,
okay.
and then we saw the fighter jets just circling over, so we had figured it crashed.
What did you think? I mean, we still don't really know. We've heard that an employee from SeaTac got this plane, but what did you think, or what are you thinking now?
I don't know. I hope he didn't hurt anybody. You know, there's been rumors out on Twitter that he was suicidal or whatever, but yeah, I don't know, just frightening.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for sharing. So it's a little dark out here, I'll admit, but out here is the Silicon Ferry dock. It mainly serves Anderson Island and the McNeil Island, where the state has the Special Commitment Center. As we pulled up, saw several, I would say a dozen cars with flashing lights on board a state ferry heading out towards Ketron Island, which is just barely off the coast here. If you've been out here, Anderson Island and McNeil, it's a good 20-30 minute ferry ride. Ketron is much closer, so I'm not sure if you can see, but there are a couple of helicopters in the air above the island. Obviously, that's where the focus of this investigation is right now. We're going to see who else we can chat with out here, but for now, we'll send it back to you in Seattle.
All right. Drew Mickelson in Steilacoom tonight. Again, that is just due east, if you will, from Ketron Island. That short ferry right there. Ketron, to put it in perspective, Steilacoom, just to the north of that, you have Fox Island, and then Gig Harbor.
You guys are terrible actors, too.
Coast Guard is
what are you sad about? What are you sad about?
I know Gig Harbor's on scene and a few others. There aren't a lot of response.
Nobody died, except the guy who
right
stole the plane,
supposedly. Some of the Gig Harbor side, and everybody. This would have been a call for, I would imagine, everybody to get down here right away.
Right. This would have been an all-hands call. I don't think there's any question about it. Again, you can look here. There was some discussion. Was this airplane running out of fuel? I think it's fair to say from the smoke plume that we saw,
you got it.
level of fire
You got
we're
it.
seeing in the woods from the helicopter.
You know what's going on, dude.
I would say unlikely. That seems to be a fair amount, and that's going to be the majority of the smoke that you're going to see.
Oh, okay. Thanks for telling us.
So that's one of the observations. Again, we're going with the best information we can based on the amount of information that we have. So we're trying to sort of...
Well, I know you don't really have that much, but you've solved the whole thing. And the story already, it's only been, what, since 8:15?
Particularly good time for the folks on Ketron Island to have an airplane with even some fuel on board end up crashing into the forest.
Right. Okay, let's get to Denny, who's been very patient on the phone.
Yeah, you even know exactly where it crashed, into the forest.
Just walk us
Not on the
through,
beach.
where you
Not
were
hit
and
the
what
side
you
of the
saw.
mountain, but into the forest.
Well, the
The first part that I saw was the fighter jet that was heading north. And,
Oh, another eyewitness.
That's a little odd. Maybe they're doing some exercise at JBLM, and I didn't think anything of it. Went back to work. I was working outside at the time, and the next thing I know, roughly about 20, 25 minutes later, I see what appeared to be a commercial plane. And I had actually worked for Verizon Air many years ago. And I looked at it and thought, okay, that's a Dash 8, but he's banking really hard. I doubt that's probably a Dash 8. Until I saw a fighter jet behind him. And then as they banked around, I could look up in the sky, see another fighter jet that was up even higher than that. But as the plane banked around, it leveled out, started headed towards Silicon and Anderson Island, started to descend. And as it started to descend, it appeared that there was a slight puff of smoke coming out of the engine, but nothing that would make anybody go, "Oh my gosh, it's going to crash" or something. But it caught my attention long enough to watch the entire thing, and that was the last I saw of the plane as it descended towards Silicon. But I watched the fighter jets as they circled around, and thought that was really, really strange, because the Dash 8 is not meant to bank the way that it banked. It was almost at a 90-degree angle.
Right, we've been hearing these stories that it sounds like this pilot was almost trying to do acrobatics, or trying to do some, aerials of some kind. It sounds like that's sort of what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, not so much acrobatics, just it appeared, if you will, like a chase in the sky, like you would see a car chase on the ground, this plane banking hard to try and get away from a jet fighter, which is kind of foolish, but it didn't appear that the fighters, made any kind of attack towards the plane, just simply were taking cover and watching, the plane as it went. So I don't think that the plane was shot down. I didn't see anything that would lead me to believe that it was. So.
When you saw it at 90 degrees, you said that was really unusual. We've had several people who are kind enough to send in their cell phone pictures and other things. We have one up right now. Folks saw it doing everything from what you described, being flat level. Everybody saw the two F-15s. Those weren't picked up in these particular pictures, but they were pretty well focused on the airplane. Kind of, what did you think? I mean, when you see, is that like whoa, or what? Particularly when we see the F-15 in one of these shots, what were you thinking when you were noticing that, especially over at this sort of angle that you had?
Yeah, it was a whoa, and actually the picture you got right there was almost exactly what I saw. The fighter jet off to the side of the Dash 8, and then the Dash 8 making that hard bank, and I thought, okay, that's Dash 8, and I thought, no way. Verizon would never fly with passengers on board like that, banking that plane that steep. And that's, when I saw the fighter jet, I was like, wow, okay, this is crazy. Something's not right. And so my first thought was, somebody did something, somebody screwed up, and they scrambled fighter jets to go after this plane. And that was my first thought when I saw the fighter jet. So.
Well, there's going to be a lot more that comes out on this. Is there? You ever think you'd see something like this?
No, not like this. It's not this close to home. I mean, it literally, this plane flew over my house.
Wow.
And I was in shock. I was like, wow, okay.
And that is what I've been hearing from people tonight as well. It sounds like a lot of people down in that area watched it flying right over their homes and are still trying to come to grips with what just happened. I mean, I must have had 40 texts tonight from people going, what's going on? What's going on? Right.
Well, the odd part is post 9/11, with a plane being stolen from an airport such as SeaTac, I mean, it's hard to fathom. Very hard to fathom.
It is. It's hard to fathom. Denny, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and your perspective as well.
Absolutely.
All right, I know we're going to maybe my producer will, we're going to have a live news conference. I'm trying to figure out who is holding that news conference. Don't know whether it'll be Alaska Airlines, but we'll get updated information for you momentarily. We talked about how slow that was flying. how slow can an F-15 fly comfortably? It seems like that would be hard to stay behind a Q400.
Well, it depends on how fast the Q400 was going. Obviously, there's abilities there. I do not know off the top of my head what the stall speed is of an F-15, much less the Q400. Obviously, they were both going fast enough to stay in the air. That didn't really seem to be the issue. One of the questions I had, was there any sort of radio contact between the Q400, whoever was flying it, this mechanic as it was been described to us, and anybody else? Let me talk about something that we really haven't touched on before as we sort of wait for this press conference to get going. The one thing we haven't really covered. You're talking about somebody who has taken an airplane. I flew on one of these even earlier this year. This is a turboprop. It is, however, not a small airplane. Okay, I think we're going to go to that press conference now. I'm told in my ear.
Yeah,
Here we go.
let's listen in.
It's a small island off Stilicho here. There aren't that many people who live there. There are probably about 20 who live year-round. Apparently, the plane was taken from SeaTac Airport. Our information now is there was only one person on the plane, and that was the person flying the plane. I understand the person may have been doing some air stunts and whatever. I know that some aircraft were scrambled from the Air Force Base. There is no indication that this person who was flying the plane was trying to damage anything or attack anything. That person crashed into the island. There was a fire that followed. There are about 3 West Pierce Fire units, puffer units. They're going over there by ferry. They should be arriving just about now, as well as some command units and some Sheriff's Department units. Our boat, the Mundell, made it over there quickly because it's a rapid response boat. So, we believe there are no further casualties than one person. We don't know their condition, but because it was a fairly fiery crash, that's probably not a good condition. We have no indication that neighbors or property were damaged or hurt. Again, it's very sparsely populated, a small island. Our people will report as they get over there and give us more information as they come.
So Ketron Island? Ketron?
Ketron.
Ketron Island. It's a very small.
Yes.
The ferry, right, doesn't even run there this time of night.
Actually, it doesn't run there this time of night, but we got the good people on the Pierce County Ferry to give us a ride over there.
Can you just talk to me, tell me the details. Do you know anything about what type of plane it was?
I understand it was a commercial plane, but a very small commercial plane, like a commuter plane with props. So it's not a jet. It was one of the smaller commercial planes. And there you have a train, which
There's a lot going on there.
there's a lot going on down here.
The